Hi everybody, I'm Becky Singleton and you're on Happy, Healthy, and Fit today. We're going to talk about mindset makeover. Yes, we're going to do a mindset makeover for 2022. So why don't you join me here today, here on Happy, Healthy, and Fit.
Can you show me the way? Can you show me the way? Can you show me? Baby, can you show me the way? Can you show me the way? Can you show me the way? Can you show me? Baby, can you show me the way?
Welcome back to the channel, everybody. Thank you for coming. If this is the first time you're meeting me, welcome. And if you're returning, thank you. And as I always say, if you can subscribe, like, and share, it does help the channel, and I thank you very much. So we're coming in at the end of 2021. Can you believe it? I can't believe it. I've been sitting back with myself and really looking at this year, what I liked about this year, what I didn't like about this year, and not to repeat those things. And a lot of that is about letting go and surrendering. So I thought, you know what, when I was thinking about what I want to talk about today on the show, it's really about a mindset makeover. So people do, makeovers for their body, for their hair, for their lifestyle, for dieting. How about a mindset makeover? And a girlfriend of mine and I were talking about this a couple of weeks ago, and she says, hey, I think we need to do a mindset makeover. And I just love that word, because that's a lot of what we need to do when things aren't still where we want them to be. And so let's think about that and let's talk about that. So I want to review a couple of things that I talked a lot about this year, and that was contrast. Contrast is knowing what you do like and knowing what you don't like. That's contrast, and that's very important throughout your life, whatever that is. Do you like your job? Is it something that you want to stay in, or is it something that you're like, I got to get out of here? It's not working for me. That's contrast. Relationships. If you're, dating someone and they're not very nice to you, or you don't like a lot of things about them, and you only like one or two things about them, that's contrast. You've got to make a decision whether you want to stick it out and wake up one day and go, God, what happened to the last 5 years? So think about what it is that you want. And I think letting go and surrendering is a big, big thing I want you to think about as we come into 2022. You don't want to bring old baggage into a new year, right? You want to make sure that, we're kind of starting on a clean slate. How do you start on a clean slate? You leave behind anything that didn't work. Why would you repeat a pattern or repeat a lesson that you've already learned? Why would you do that? Instead, take a seat back and say, you know what? I didn't like any of this, and I don't want to bring it with me in 2022. I want a clean slate. I want a new start, whether that is in love, whether that is an employer, whether that is just like a new start in doing a new project. And I started a couple of things as I was meditating last week, a project or two that I'm like, you know what, I'm going to do this. And so I started working on it, and I'm hoping to bring it to fruition by March. But you got to take the time and to sit with yourself. Another thing I want to talk about is making a decision. Sometimes people just sit. They don't make a decision. They feel like if I sit still, maybe the problem will go away. And that's not really a good way to handle making a decision, especially when it involves your life and decisions and things that you know. If you know something has never worked, no matter how hard you tried, and I'm sure a lot of us have put in that good old effort, but it just maybe wasn't meant to be. And just coming to that conclusion of, you know what? It wasn't meant to be. And it's okay, but what did I learn from it? I'm not doing that again. And moving into something else. An ending always brings a new beginning. So remember that. That's never something that is bad. It's always something good. You have to know you don't have to be afraid. And fear is the biggest deterrent for you to move out of making a decision. And fear usually stops you from making a decision. No decision is a decision. And at some point, if you're in your life and your purpose is supposed to be somewhere, not making a decision will be made for you. So it's always best if you could just make your own decision and get to where you need to be. But if you're afraid of what someone else thinks or how someone's going to react to your decision, remember, it's your choice. It's not their choice. I just remember when I was in one of my marriages, you know, my husbands didn't want me to go anywhere. They liked me taking care of them and providing financially and doing all of that. But it wasn't always good for me. And I wasn't getting what I wanted, and I wasn't getting what I needed. And so when I made the decision to move out of that situation, it was important that I was true to myself. And we talked about that a few weeks ago. But did I think he was going to be upset? Yeah, he wasn't happy at all. He was trying everything in his power to say, hey, you know, I'll do better, I'll do this. But I'd given him so many chances and it never changed. And so, you know, there comes a point when you're like, no, I need something new. I don't know what's around the corner, but I know this isn't good. I know this isn't going anywhere. And it's time for me to make the cut. And that cut may bring upheaval, but that upheaval is only going to smooth back out to open up a better path, better opportunities, more financial opportunities. You know, my life opened up once I did that, once I released that, once I surrendered. So you've got to make a decision. Sitting in the middle of the road will only get you hit by a Mack truck. So make a decision. Cross the road, get on whatever side you want to get on, but make a decision. It's important for your overall health. That's where your mindset makeover comes to. 2022 is going to be a very powerful year. And I say that because it's a strong time after we've gone through all that we've gone through the last few years to just being really open. I don't know if you've realized, but a lot of people have grown in themselves, grown in their knowledge, and where they need to go. I know for myself, where I was 2 years ago is not where I am today. And, you know, I'm proud of that because my mindset was different in 2020, even 2019 was different than it is going to be in 2022. I'm not the same person. And there are things I will not put up with. There's things that I have learned. You know, boundaries are very important, and it's okay. And it's not selfish. It's not selfish to present boundaries. And if you struggle with that, you may look back at when you were younger. You may have heard the voices that come in your head that said, you're selfish for trying to take care of yourself, or you're selfish for not taking care of me when that's your responsibility. No, you have to take care of yourself. You have to. You cannot be a good, healthy person if you're always taking care of other people and you're not taking care of yourself. It's not selfish. It's selfish to think that you, that person, thinking that you're supposed to be only taking care of them. That's not good and that's not cool. So take care of yourself. You know, as I say when you're on a plane, put the mask on yourself before helping others. You have to, because if you don't, you won't be here for the other people. And they'll just crawl over your body and go make someone else try to, you know, do whatever it is that they want them to do. And so I just want you to think about how important it is to take care of yourself. Self-care is very important. Making sure that, you know, don't be afraid to share what you want. You know, putting up a boundary doesn't mean that you won't be able to tell someone, these are my needs and this is what I want. I know I've often done that. And when I don't receive it, I just realize that's not the person for me. Because the person who wants to be with you is going to want to know what your needs are and what your wants are. So reflect on that. Take a notebook, a piece of paper, write down all the things that will help you change your mindset. What's your mindset makeover looking like for next year? I want you to give it some thought this week. I'm wishing everybody a happy new year. I know all will be great for us, and I thank you for supporting the channel. I'm Becky Singleton, and I'm just like you.
Can you show me the way? Can you show me the way? Can you show me, baby, can you show me the way?